Hello, my name is Alicia and I am a psychology major. I decided I wanted to do some videos that will help define some psychological concepts, and I hope you guys like it because I really like psychology and this is an idea I've had for about a few months now. So the first topic that I would like to define is the topic of psychology. Now this is a very broad field of psychology, like many other fields of psychology. But what is psychology? Well, psychology has two major groups. Before I get into the two main areas of psychology, it's helpful to know what psychology is. Psychology is the psychology of workplaces and people, how people function within these workplaces. So, psychology stands for two different things. The I stands for industrial psychology, and the O stands for organizational psychology. And organizational psychology is pretty straightforward because it means psychology of an organization, which means as a whole group. So you're studying what the organization wants and what it expects of you and how you fit with that organization. On the other hand, industrial psychology is concerned with things such as personnel selection. But what's personnel psychology? Well, personnel psychology, which entails personnel selection, is the psychology of the workplace as it pertains to the individual. So it also can pertain to how an individual fits an organization, but it's more looking at that person's qualifications rather than the person's values as they fit. So that's IO in a nutshell. And there are some different areas in psychology, such as the organizational psychology and job satisfaction, and in the industrial stuff there's personnel selection and hiring practices, as well as selecting potential applicants. And there's also an interesting area of psychology, which is human factors, but there's also occupational health psychology, which is actually very fascinating, and they kind of go together because I had one professor that taught both the courses to me, and she made them really interesting. And safety culture is a really interesting area of psychology. Every time I go to do psychology type stuff, I always like to look at safety and people's attitudes. Like, attitudes are a very interesting area of psychology, and it helps to look at attitudes because attitudes do not always indicate behavior. They don't always predict it. So anyways, that's IO in a nutshell, and I hope you enjoyed the video.